Hi there, my name is Andre Ferraz and I'm the CEO and co-founder at Incogni. And in this series of videos, we're going to be talking about how mobile apps are leveraging location technology to reduce fraud, provide a better user experience, and also reduce costs associated with authentication services. And today, we're going to talk a little bit more about location spoofing detection, particularly on the ride hailing and food delivery industry. So why is location spoofing an issue for the food delivery and ride hailing industries, right? Well, if we think about it, like these two industries are heavily reliant on location information so they can function well and they can optimize their logistics. But spoofing location information is quite easy. So the issue here is that bad actors and malicious users are able to take advantage of these techniques to defraud these applications, right? So if we think about food delivery, for example, or ride hailing, a driver or the person in charge of delivering that service or giving you that ride might be spoofing GPS so that they can, for example, get more rides and not even do it, but get paid for it. So, for example, if I was a fraudster and I had a device farm, meaning that I have access to multiple devices, or I could be using, for example, emulators to do the same. I could use all of those devices spoofing GPS information to accept a number of rides, right? So I would accept like multiple rides at the same time at locations in which the price is significantly high and the demand is very high. And I would never show up, right? I would accept that ride, and after some time, if the user uh, like doesn't get into the car and I would like use location spoofing to say that I'm there, I'm waiting for you, but I'm not really there, then the service would pay me a certain amount for not being able to make that ride. And actually, who's paying for that is the end user that was not able to find the car, right? So basically, there are ways for these bad actors to make money very easily by using location spoofing techniques. And here I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So most of these applications are relying especially on GPS tracking. So as they are mobile apps, they have access to the operating system's location services. They don't really need to rely as much on IP addresses, right? To spoof locations. So they don't need to care about like using different ways to show that they are in a certain location. By simply using GPS spoofing apps, they can do it. So um, spoofing GPS is very, very easy. The fraudster can simply go to the App Store and they can download a fake GPS app or a GPS spoofing app and start doing that. They can also be using emulators. They can root or jailbreak a device. They can be using app tempering or app cloners to do that, and also use instrumentation tools to do the same. So it's very easy. In most cases, you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to be tech savvy. The vulnerability here is that the operating systems, both Android and iOS, have developed a feature for developers in which if you are on developer mode, you can basically alter the lat long that the location services of the operating system provides. Why is that? Basically because they wanted to enable developers to be able to test their applications as if they were in different locations to see how it worked, right? So this was a feature created for developers, but at the same time, it created a vulnerability in which bad actors and malicious users are exploiting to commit fraud, right? So what's important here is really to adopt modern location spoofing detection techniques. So as an example, what Incogni does is, first of all, we verify all of those vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. So if there are, for example, fake GPS apps installed on that device, if the user is using emulator, we're able to detect all of those things. So by doing those, what we call device integrity checks, we're able to reduce the risk of this type of fraudulent activity, right? But this is still not sufficient. To be able to really detect location spoofing accurately, we had to rely on our own location services. So we have created our proprietary location technology that basically leverages the other signals that are present on that device. So, for example, sensors like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, motion sensors, cell tower IDs, all of those things are taken into consideration, and we combine all of those signals to create what we call location fingerprint, which is a unique fingerprint for each location that we map on our platform. On a monthly basis, for example, we're mapping about 500 million locations to our database. So this database is constantly being updated and growing very, very rapidly. And by doing that, we're able to identify, for example, okay, there is a mismatch between the GPS coordinate and the Wi-Fi signals or the Bluetooth signals we're seeing. And by identifying that, we know, okay, there is GPS spoofing going on, even if we were not able to detect GPS spoofing by the other means that I've mentioned before, right? So adopting modern location spoofing detection technology is extremely important for these companies in the food delivery, ride hailing space. It's hard to maintain because you need to be constantly updating this technology so you can keep ahead of the fraudsters because they're always moving, they're always building new tools. So I strongly recommend if you are in that space, take a look at location spoofing, try to identify if this is a problem for you. And if it is, reach out to us. We're happy to help. Thank you.